Serious. Why did you cheat on your partner? Story 1. I cheated once, and it was because she'd cheated on me. I'd already been cheated on before, so it was like, well, this time I'm getting revenge. I didn't feel any better. Made me feel almost as shitty as I thought she was. She was angry as fuck, but I can't honestly say it was any different than any of the other gals that get pissed off when you break up with them. Haven't cheated since. If you're getting cheated on, don't demean yourself by sinking to their level. Just give him the boot. Reply. Man, I need to hear this. Not sure if I'll put it to work, but it's like you were specifically talking to me. She cheated on me more than once. She's caught me looking for hookups and whatever, but I was only doing it to get back at her. Make her feel like I do, still do, years later. I haven't even gone through with it. I usually talk myself out of it or chicken out. But doesn't change the fact that I still took the time to do so. Hoping someday I'll just get over it and move on. Reply 2. Couple months into a relationship and my girlfriend's best friend's boyfriend tried to kill himself. Wrote a breakup letter about how she ruined his life basically. So she called hysterical. My girlfriend was at work, so I picked her up and brought her to my house, until we would go get my girlfriend after work and they can talk. I don't know what happened. She's sitting on my couch in a skirt and she was saying how no one likes her, she will never get another guy, and I just said that she was cool and pretty, and then from there, yeah. I actually ended up staying with my girlfriend for 10 years after that, but because of cheating on her in the beginning the trust was gone and we both cheated on each other a few times. It was like the perfect porn script. Wasn't worth it and I have no good excuse for it. Wish I could take it back. Story 2. Because my wife told me that she was no longer interested in having sex with me, she didn't want me having it with anyone else, and she forbade me from watching porn or masturbating. I still did the latter, but we could never discuss it or she'd freak out. So to get my sexual needs met by someone other than myself, for several years, a few times per year I paid a sex worker for a happy ending massage. This was still cheating, but I rationalized it as the mildest form of cheating possible. No chance of an STI, no chance of an unwanted pregnancy, no emotional involvement. I knew it was wrong, but at the time I felt like it was my best choice out of several lousy choices. I realize now I should have just said at the time, I want a divorce. That's where we ended up anyway, and I would have saved myself, my wife, and our kids some needless pain over the years. By cheating on her, and hiding it from her, I made it so much worse when she eventually found out. To cheaters on here, I would say, get out of your relationship. If you're cheating, you're clearly not happy. Do yourself and your partner a favor and just end it now, before it all goes to hell. Reply. From personal experience, my ex told me that she said, it feels more like a chore to have sex with you than doing the laundry. I was fucking hurt bad. I never cheated on her, but I found out that she was cheating on me. It could have been that she was just projecting it all onto you instead, hoping you do the same thing. Reply 2. This hurts my heart just to read. I'm sorry, internet friend. Story 3. Because I wasn't over my ex, and when she came knocking I didn't value my new relationship enough and crossed a line I never will lower myself to cross again. You feel like shit for years after it, really not worth it no matter how you try to justify it to yourself at the time. Reply. My ex cheated on me like this and let me tell you, felt like absolute crap. Like I'm not worth being loved by anyone. Story 4. It's considered cheating in my case, but things led up to it which caused the incident. We were on the 4-year mark and I was busy with a 9 to 5 in school. This didn't leave me much time aside from exercising and trying to make time for her. She liked to drink, but near the end it got so bad. Communication prior to this was great but seemed toxic when she started drinking heavily, being out all night, which led me despising her and not caring anymore. Knowing we were still in a relationship, I still made effort to talk, make time for her. It wasn't reciprocated and seemed like she didn't care to try. There would be points where I'd text her and she wouldn't reply back for 8 to 9+ hours, or in some instances, days. By the end it seemed normal to me and made me believe that everyone would treat me like that. With the stress of all that I was doing, made me gain weight, and with her neglect, undesirable. At some point, I decided to focus on myself, and this was while we were still together. Kind of like we weren't together but were still in a relationship. I started going out with friends, meeting new people. It was during this period I met someone and we clicked. I didn't think anything of it at the time, but along with other people, her and I exchanged numbers. Whenever we exchanged messages, she responded instantly and seemed like she wanted to talk to me. This was still while my then GF was being aloof, ignorant towards me. You guys can figure out where this is going. Regarding my GF at the time, I guess she got heavily intoxicated one night. I received a phone call around 2 to 3 a.m. When I answered, a guy was talking. Told me him and his friends found her passed out in the bar and called me after unlocking her phone. I went and got her and broke up with her couple days after. Story 5. If only my ex had Reddit so I could have closure. Edit. Lots of replies here so I'll add mine. We were together for a year and a half, engaged for 2 weeks. Hung out with her one night and she seemed off. Forced it out of her she had feelings for her coworker. Gave her a whole week to sort her feelings out and instead she got pregnant from him. Now I've got trust issues, so thanks V hope it was worth it. I sold the ring for 1/10 of what I paid. Reply. You are me as you XD. Story 6. Because I was too chicken shit to get a divorce because I was wildly unhappy and too proud to go to therapy to fix the marriage. So I cheated, got caught, and have since been to a ton of therapy and am getting a divorce. Even though I'm happy to have this relationship in my rear view, cheating is my life's biggest regret. Reply. This was me a decade ago. It was just one time. I had somehow rationalized if I cheated he could then just hate me. That would hurt less than me telling him I didn't love him anymore and I wanted out. He was a good partner, but I fell out of love with him. The latter would have been the honorable thing to do. He was going to be hurt either way. I was just doing mental gymnastics to justify my reasoning. Really I just liked the attention that I wasn't getting at home. That's messed up. I worked a lot on myself and go to therapy. I'm a much better partner now, and I haven't done it since. Story 7. Okay, this happened like 20 years ago with an ex. I was around 22 years old, young gay, and he was around 40 I think. The age gap was something that always rubbed me the wrong way. I was constantly doubting the relationship. Even kinda broke up a few times because of it, but then we came back together. We had been together like for 4 months by then. One night at the club, with some friends, I decided that if I was constantly doubting it, it was because it was something that I wasn't okay with, and decided to break up with him. He wasn't with me that night, so I decided to tell him the next day. Since I was already at the club, and was going to break up with him, I thought it wouldn't matter if I met someone new, and I did make out with one of the club dancers, and then went to his place and had sex and everything. It wasn't until the next day morning, sobered up, that I realized I didn't want to break up with him, and even worse, I also realized that meant I had just cheated on him. Felt awful. I called him later during the day, told him everything while crying, assuming he'd just break up with me, but instead he told me to meet somewhere public. He brought me a gift, and told me he was okay with it. He understood what I was feeling and it's just things that happen. I was confused by the reaction. We were together for a few months more and then he broke up with me. XD can't blame him, I was a horny mess by then. Ran into him a few times at some parties and things were okay, he never stopped being nice to me. Which I appreciate. Reply. Dude sounds like he knew what he was getting into from the start. He could have been an asshole about it but choose to not. Very cool of him. Story 8. Insecurity, poor self-image, and an inability to put aside morals in exchange for stroking my ego. I was bullied all throughout school, depressed, angry, so after school when I started actually getting attention from women, I went nuts. My ego was exploding. I'd lie about where I was going, delete text messages, have alternate accounts, etc. etc. I thought I was sly. I wasn't. She knew. They always find out. I've changed a lot since, and thankfully we're still together, but it hasn't been without its trials and tribulations. There are times I see the hurt in her eyes, and I wish I could take it all back, but at the same time, I really don't think I'd be where I'm at as a person today, if it weren't for that experience. It took a lot for me to realize just what type of person I actually was, and I woke up one morning looking in the mirror, and didn't like the person who was staring back at me. It was like an out-of-body experience where I didn't recognize myself, but I knew I hated what I was looking at. It's taken a lot, and I make sure I tell her every day that I love her, that I'll forever be hers for as long as she'll have me. But if she were to tell me tomorrow that she's done, I wouldn't hold it against her. She's my best friend, she's helped me grow as a person, and been way more patient than she had to be, and I wish I could take what I know now, go back in time, and start all over, just so she wouldn't have that hurt and that doubt that I know is eating away in the back of her mind. She doesn't deserve it. Reply. Wow. I actually feel bad for both. Good on you for realizing your mistakes and trying to be a better version and not giving up. Subscribe.